Game time. It's game time, fourth quarter. I'm just kidding. We haven't even gotten into the ring yet. We haven't even started fighting. This is the walkout. This is the walkout. The music's playing. Blah, 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 blah.
Back here at another really cool earthworks project. Today we're out in Amelia Island. This project here is really cool, unique in the fact that there's not a lot of turf. So it's a Florida-friendly garden where we've used a lot of drought-tolerant plants to make a really cool landscape design in the front yard, and we'll move to the backyard in a future phase. Right now we want to show you some aspects of what we're doing. Today we're doing the prep, removal, and things like that, and we'll be adding some plants and things to it throughout the week. Here, guys, we've got a lot of water that comes down the side yard just due to the slope that's here naturally. They've got these really nice stones that I'm going to repurpose, and we're going to add about 20 new ones to the front. So then they'll have a nice pathway that connects to the back slab here, all the way around this side yard to the front sidewalk. Something else Florida friendly here is we're getting rid of a lot of the turf. So you're only going to see a band of grass around the front here. That's something that I wish a lot of yards would do. That's a big consumer in your yard. There's some other stumps and things we're taking out. We're going to do some grading here, and just a really cool landscape. A lot of different plants, things that are going to bloom multiple times a year, and things that have foliage color to them year round.
Well, good morning. Here we are in the middle of the project, and as you can see, we're an oceanside community, so part of the design concept that John gave us was to really make this more of a Florida free-flowing design. And of course, we've still got a ways to go, but the design concept has really worked for our home. We have a large front yard, and it's opened it back up. And basically, we had trees in the front that had died, and the whole nature of the yard changed to be very sunny. So now we're putting in a landscape and hardscape that really benefit from the sunlight and the plants that have been selected by Earthworks. So we're thankful for that, and we're looking forward to finalizing it in the next day or two and going forward.
So if you can't tell, Tim was doing his best to wade through the water right there. The water wants to drain that way, but we need it to go that way. So we tried to bring the level up here so it flows down towards the driveway and out back towards the back of the house. Right now it's kind of muddy because we had the irrigation people out here. The homeowner wanted us to transplant a lot of these hydrangeas and these holly ferns right here. You have to be careful with the hydrangeas. They're really sensitive. Transplanting is always hard on the plants. We always use fertilizer. Make sure we plant them a little bit high so that way the roots can get good air. This agave also got transplanted from the other side of the yard. Got to put right here, nice and high. It's going to be fantastic. These Dusty Millers, these ones, this one right here and that one, those are transplanted from the other side of the yard as well. The rest of these are all brand new. Same thing when we're planting. We want to make sure that we leave them a little bit high above the ground, not too much because we're going to be mulching in here also, so we want to make sure everything lives. Originally we only had this rock around the back side of the house where they were talking about they have the drainage problem. We don't want it to erode any more than it already is, so put the weed mat down, we rocked the whole front of the house to protect the stucco, keep it from eroding. That's going to really help the longevity of the outside of the house.
The dust is settled, the fog is cleared, the sun is out now. It's a beautiful day in January. Some unique things about the landscape behind us. A lot of really cool plants, nice ground covers, accent textures and colors throughout the year. And then some plants we were able to reuse from the backyard, like this queen palm was in a pot for a long, long time. I had roots going around and around. So actually, you guys know what queen palms will look like. That'll be a really nice key feature in the future. And another little European fan that'll be a nice little balance point right there. This is a little raised berm right here with the jasmine on it. So that'll be unique. It's almost like a swoosh with a little fat part on the bottom. You can kind of see how it goes all the way down. It's a little high point. When you're making a berm, it doesn't have to be a big old 5-foot thing. This is only 1.5 foot raised, and it really gives you a nice dimension from the rest of the lawn. I thought that was really neat. As the plants fill that up, you'll see it more. It'll stand out more. This is sunset jasmine. This is a really cool plant. You see a lot of this Asiatic jasmine green, which is cool, but this is a new one. So it has this really creamy white variegated growth and a red new growth. So that's really a unique plant. That'll look really cool once that's a ground cover. And eventually we won't have to mulch this top band. This will just be a blanket of plants, and they'll have a nice little soft patch of mulch out here. You've got some plants that are dormant here, like the Vitex. So when I was talking about things that are interesting all year, you want to have some things that are going to lose their leaves to be perennial and come back, and lessen the annual aspect of the yard for the customer, because that's not easy maintenance for them out replacing plants all the time. So make a little bit easier garden for them. They'll love you for it. We were able to save this agave from the original landscape. That's one of my favorite plants. I collect these. Anytime you've got that bluish silver color in the landscape, it's going to look nice to punctuate it with a white or something along that same line. You see, this looks totally different from the rest of the garden, but it really blends in. Once the white lantana starts to fill in, it'll pick up the white down here. And anytime you use white in your garden, it accentuates your other colors and brings those out. Back here, guys, is where we mostly use the plants from the previous landscape. We've got some really cool hydrangeas in here we were able to use, and the size, that's unique. You wouldn't be able to buy that big. So anytime you can repurpose those old plants get them to a nice part of the yard where there's not a lot, it's an impact, you know, because they've already got the height over here that they want. Anytime you've got a plant that's going to lose its leaves in the winter, you want to put something evergreen in front of it. So they'll have a nice little screen here. They had some old oak trees. As you can see, this neighborhood has a lot of that consistently throughout. They lost those trees, and so those old hedges that were underneath kind of looked out of place, and they lost the balance of the landscape. That was the unique part, to come in here and see something just totally different versus the boxy, hedgy stuff that you typically see. And that's kind of what's unique about our designs, I think. Come up with a cool design that works for you, that's a little less maintenance for you, and it's a lot more interesting. Come find us on YouTube and look us up on the internet, guys, and look for me, John Cacchione at Earthworks. We'll see you at the next project.